Hey everybody, Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures.
Hi.
You know, I was going to say it's been a busy week, but every week is a busy week, right?
Yeah.
When is it not?
Hasn't been easy. It has not been a not busy week for quite some time.
I know. Between working on the trailer and then taking care of doctor's appointments and things like that, it's, and then our 3-day-a-week job that we do to pay for this spot that we're sitting on.
Right.
Time gets taken up. That's all there is to it.
Before you know it.
Before you know it. But we have gotten a little bit more stuff done, and the kitchen is really starting to take shape. I guess we should go ahead and say that what we're really trying to concentrate on now, our decision has been made that we're going to finish the kitchen completely, and then we'll move to the...
Well, because people probably don't understand this.
Okay.
But I have a kitchen, a living room, a bedroom, and a bathroom.
Yeah, we joked about it. If you divide it up, it'd say, a 20-foot long trailer, 5 feet each.
Yeah. So we're concentrating on the kitchen, and then we're going to move to the living room.
Yeah, which you're sitting in the living room right now.
I'm sitting in the living room,
Yeah.
and you're in the bedroom.
And I'm in the bedroom. Yeah. And of course, then there's the bathroom.
Then there's the bathroom.
Now, it's really not 5 feet each. The kitchen is a little bit more than that, obviously. It's more like 6.
Not quite.
6 is the deepest point. Well, I would say around 6 to the deepest point.
Probably.
Roughly, give or take a little bit. And technically the living room is, 4 feet.
Yeah. That's okay.
But that's all right. Hey, we still have a whole lot more room than we had in the previous trailer, that's for sure.
That is absolutely right.
Absolutely. So, and we are, it's hard work. And there's a lot of thinking going on, plus all the other stuff we got to think about at the same time. But each time we get a certain project done, it's very
yeah, that word. Rewarding.
Thank you, dear.
You're welcome.
It's very rewarding to go back and look and see what we were able to do, and what really drove it home to me, I was looking at some photos from when we started. And then to where we are now, and you start thinking for a while, well, we're really not making that much progress. But if you go back and look at the photos of where we first started, and then what we did and how we got to where we are now, then we can finally see that we are making some progress.
We are making progress.
And it's only been what, 3.5, 4 months, something like that.
Since April 23rd.
Since April 23rd, when we
picked the trailer up. April
that's
23rd.
when we took delivery of the trailer. That's when we took. So when we actually didn't start the process of building it till close to May 1st, somewhere in there, give or take a couple of days.
Probably, because we had to run down supplies. We had to take down all the plywood on the walls, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. But anyway, we finally finished the countertops. And Deb did her faux marble finish on them. So we're going to go through and show you all about the countertops. Are you ready to show them about the countertops, dear?
Sure.
Okay. All right. Now, what we're going to start with, I know. I think it's really pretty myself. I'm really tickled with it.
Turn your light on.
Do I need to turn the light on? You think so?
Well, for
all
that
right,
one.
Let's try that.
For that
all right.
side, anyway.
There you go. Anyway, these are the countertops, and we got the hole cut out for the sink, and that'll be the next video, is installing the sink and showing how we run the drain down to the water tank. But what I want to talk about first, and then we're going to let Deb talk about some stuff. These countertops are 3/4 inch plywood, is basically all they are. But the way we tied these in, we have the cabinets stop roughly about right here on this side, and then over here on this side, they pretty much stop in the same spot, of course, on this side. This cabinet is a little bit longer, of course. It's 48 inches, so it sets deeper towards the door this way than this one does here. But what we did, where the cabinet stops here, we still, underneath the countertop, we ran a stringer here and a stringer all along here underneath the countertop, and then of course a stringer all along here beside the uprights that are on either side of the fridge, here and here, over here. So with these stringers that we have here, and those are glued and screwed to the wall, and there's a furring strip just on the other side, because we thought about this ahead of time when we were actually insulating the trailer and running our horizontal furring strips for the 2 layers of insulation. we put these furring strips in the strategic spot behind there so that we would have something pretty solid to screw to when we went and put the stringers along here to support the countertop, because we knew that eventually, you know, we would be putting cabinets here and running countertops. We originally did not have this particular design, but still the horizontal furring strips were placed strategically for whatever we ended up doing. And when we got these countertops on, and we of course glued and screwed them as well, and when it was all said and done, it just really made this stuff stout. I mean, this is all stout everywhere. It ain't gonna budge at all. Of course, I have close friends that tell me that I like to over-engineer things, right, dear?
That is correct.
So, but you know, it's crucial, because keep in mind, folks, these things are rolling earthquakes when you're going down the road. So what this has done, since it has really stiffened everything up, I mean super strong, and we have this tied of course to the uprights. Eventually I'm going to be and I'll show you this in a later video, eventually we will be tying the refrigerator to these uprights in a couple of strategic spots. And the fact that it's all held in there nice and good and tight and strong is going to really help when you're driving down the road, towing this thing down the road. So that's why we designed it the way that we did. Now, like I say, these are 3/4 inch countertops, 3/4 inch thick plywood on top, and then we took some clean 1x2 material, 1x2 pine, and faced it out on the front. We did a slight roll over here with a router table. Just roll over to this edge just a little bit, and cutting these miters right here were fun, but we got them done. Got the miters here and the miters here, right there. So it worked out really well.
Fun? You didn't act like it was fun.
I didn't act like it was fun? I don't know what you're talking about. Are you referring to some of the colorful metaphors that was uttered?
I'm referring to that cutting those funky angles was not necessarily fun. That's what I refer to.
I just had to think about it a little bit, and then finally when it came to me, you know, how to arrive at those angles, and fortunately I have that adjustable square, you know, which helped me a lot too. And then, you know, going to the chop saw and finding that perfect angle was tricky, but you know, once we got it done, it worked out really good. So we're real tickled with it. So now I'm going to turn it over to you, Deb. Do you mind stepping up there and talking more about how you did?
Basically, after Bill did all of this and made this, then we filled in what needed to be filled with wood putty.
Yeah.
Let that dry.
And the stuff that we used was, there's a channel that we just recently discovered. I want to mention this right quick and give this guy a plug. We just love watching this guy. He's a carpenter, and the name of his channel is Bourbon Moth. Go check out Bourbon Moth. He is a hoot to watch, and I have learned so much from him just in the last 3 or 4 videos that I've watched. It's unreal, you know, some stuff that he shows us. But the guy's cool. Check him out. Bourbon Moth.
Ladies, beware. Make sure husbands go buy more tools.
So anyway, back to what you were talking about there. I'm sorry, dear.
That's okay.
Yeah.
So then we did that. I primed them, and I always use Kills water-based primer. So I primed them, let that dry, and then I had gone to Sherwin-Williams with the red trailer and asked them for a really hard water-based enamel type paint for cabinets. And they showed me one, and I think we have a picture of that. But so I went back to Sherwin-Williams again and bought that very same paint. This time I bought a very white color in a satin. I put 2 layers of that on the cabinets, letting it dry in between. And then we came in and did this marble technique.
Well, talk about how you did the marble technique. That was so cool to watch you do that.
It's a script brush, which is a artist brush that's got a long, narrow brush part.
Long, narrow brush part.
and you just gotta, as you're doing it, and I did this with silver and some of the cabinet paint, the white, in a pan, and mixed it together, you know, kind of mixed it, got my brush nice and wet so the paint flowed. and you just take this script brush and you keep your wrist loose. And you just kind of imagine how water would flow across the counter. Or across a rock or whatever. But water flows. That's what makes marble. It's flowing through rock, carrying different minerals, and that's what makes marble have all these different colors. So you just kind of mimic that with your brush, and if it doesn't look good, it's only paint, right? You can paint over it. Start over.
What I noticed about this paint, I mean, when you put those 2 coats on, it covered the grain in the plywood. Of course, we got good quality plywood. We didn't buy cheap stuff, and we paid dearly for it.
Yeah, that was why this was so nerve-wracking.
Yeah. But it covered the grain that was in the plywood really, really well. 2 coats, and you couldn't see any of the grain at all, and it dried so hard. It was really, really good.
I put it on with a sponge roller, a small one, and then I brushed it out with just a foam brush because I wanted to keep it as smooth as I possibly could. After it dried with the 2 coats of paint and the marbleization dried, which it was a warm day and this mini split was taking all the moisture out of the air, so it dried really quickly.
We love our mini split, right?
Yes.
Yes, we love our mini split. Okay.
Because I started this about 10 o'clock yesterday morning, and by 5 o'clock last night, I already had it done in 5 coats of polyacrylic.
5 coats of polyacrylic.
Letting it dry between each coat. And I attribute that to this taking all the moisture out of the air.
Oh, yeah. Yeah,
so that it was low humidity in here, and it dried really quickly, and it didn't have any smell. I was a little worried about the polyacrylic having an odor while we was trying to sleep last night, but it really didn't.
No,
I didn't notice it at all.
No, I didn't notice a thing.
So that's the way we did that. Very simple. It should hold up really well. It did in the red trailer.
Yeah.
Very happy with it. Did the same thing, of course, over here. This all has 5 coats of polyacrylic ready for Bill to install my sink tomorrow.
And yeah, we're going to be working on the sink tomorrow for sure. But I want to point out, I mean, let me get some close-up shots of this and see just how pretty that came out. It really, really came out nice, and I think it did anyway. I'm real tickled with it, how it came out. So anyway, now we're going to move on, and of course, yeah, the next video will be all about the sink, installing the sink. And this sink is huge that we got.
Yeah, it is. You could have almost, take a bath in it.
Almost take a bath. I couldn't take a bath in it, but you might be able to. But and then of course after that, then we're going to start building the shelves that go above the.
I wanted a really big sink. I may have got a little too big, but I wanted a sink big enough. And it's a single bowl, but I wanted a wash tub where I could fix my dishwater, another area where I could rinse them. If I needed another tub, I could do that. And then it's got a drying rack that you spread across, so all of your water is contained within the sink. And I think that will help.
It's a cool sink. Yeah, well, we can't wait to show it to you in the next video, folks. And then, of course, after that, like I was saying, then we're going to come in here and we're going to go ahead and build the shelves that will be housing those bins, those storage bins that we like to use. That will be just above the windows. And when Deb demonstrated it in another video previously, she laid the bins all the way to the top, and it made it look like she'd barely be able to reach them. And actually, they're not going to be that high. They're going to be just barely above the windows. And then, of course, if she needs help reaching them, I'm going to be here to help her do that. But we'll be doing the shelf over here above the windows, the storage shelf, and the storage shelf above the windows here. And we're also going to make it, the shelf board itself will actually be hollow on the inside so that we can run, hide the wiring for the lights that will be on the bottom side of the shelf. That'll be lighting everything up. And also, behind the false panels, we'll be running power behind the false panels that'll be, you know, above the shelf. That'll be coming over here and then dropping down into this area on this side and dropping down into this area on this side for each individual shelf that we will have here and here for the toaster oven and the microwave. Those are things that we have coming in the future that we'll be showing you and demonstrating how we do this and how we hide the wiring but yet make it mostly accessible if
Heaven forbid.
If heaven forbid we ever had to get in there and work on something, right?
You never know.
Yeah. So we've got a lot of content yet to show you just on the kitchen itself before we even begin to move back towards
The living room.
the living room where Deb's sitting. Yeah. And then, of course, to the bedroom over here.
And
then,
my fabric for my curtains came in.
oh, yeah, it did, didn't it?
Yeah, it's
Okay,
similar
cool.
to this cushion here on the couch. So I'm going to have the red and white striped curtains. And we're doing a little bit of a backsplash. We don't know exactly what we're doing yet, but
Yeah.
anyway.
And just wait till you see the wallpaper that she has that she's going to end up using
In the bedroom.
on the wall opposite of the bed, at the foot of the bed, where the TV hangs on the wall. But that's down the line. We still got quite a bit of stuff to show
Well, I
you
originally
down
bought it
the
for the
line.
kitchen,
Uh-huh.
but I thought it clashed a little bit with my marble.
Yeah.
It was fighting each other, so I thought, you know what? That would look really cool in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's where it's going.
So anyway, I guess that's it for now.
Yes.
Nothing else to talk about
Nope.
at all?
Nope. We just got to get all of our tools ready for tomorrow morning.
Yeah, I got a buddy of mine coming to help me install the sink.
Yeah.
So,
You can hear the colorful metaphors.
well, I may have to mute a few things here and there. But anyway, this is Bill and Deb with I Ride Tiny House Adventures. And folks, we always say this and we always will. We're not camping.
We're living.
Y'all get out there and do some living yourself, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye now.
Bye.